Hi, my name is Bailey Williams, and today I'm going to be interviewing my roommate, Kaylee. We are going to be talking about the issue of coral bleaching. So, Kaylee, do you know what coral bleaching is?
I do.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit how you learned about it and kind of what your general idea of coral bleaching is?
Coral bleaching, I was reading in the newspaper not too long ago that it's a problem in the oceans with coral are dying out. And I read that the cause of it was because of the temperature in the oceans is rising.
Okay. So can you kind of tell me what coral is? And yes, though that it is bleaching, kind of what your thought is on that.
Coral is, a stone like organism that is found in the ocean, and its purpose is it helps generate oxygen in the oceans and it helps sustain marine life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and its bleaching is its reaction to the rise in temperature in the water.
Okay, yes. So I did want to add to that. Along with coral being a hard substance and being a main, um, I guess, organism and just the environment, it takes root in the ocean floor, much like a plant, but it is actually an animal. It can't feed itself, so it is covered by polyps, which are covered by tentacle-like arms. And these tentacles, they kind of wade through the water and they get their food from the water. Um, so with coral bleaching, as you said, the this is caused from a rising temperature in the ocean water. Do you know kind of why the temperature is starting to rise so suddenly and how this is all kind of coming together?
I believe it's related to climate change
Mm-hmm.
and, just things going on in the atmosphere, which are being reflected into the ocean and making the temperature rise.
Okay, yeah, I have to agree with you on that. So, actually, do you believe that the world, or I guess in global warming and the fact that the earth is getting hotter?
Do I think that people are responsible? Or
Um, Maybe not necessarily people, but do you,
do I think it's real?
yes, that, and you know kind of like how that's happening and how the world is getting hotter?
I do think climate change is real. If
Mm-hmm.
you look around at the environments, they are changing. Even places that aren't really that people really aren't, like in the Arctic and stuff, you can see ice is melting and
Mm-hmm.
it's getting warmer up there, and life up there is struggling to survive.
Okay, yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I've seen a lot of the pictures online, videos, all the ice melting. But I did want to share with you that a major reason for this climate increase is because carbon dioxide is getting trapped in the world or the Earth's atmosphere. Yeah, sorry, in the Earth's atmosphere. And so carbon dioxide is basically trapping all of the heat inside of the Earth, and so it's causing the ocean temperature to rise. Um, what are your thoughts on how this is happening? Do you feel like um, this is just naturally happening, or do you feel like people may have had some kind of role to play in this?
I do feel like people have a big role in it
Mm-hmm.
because things like using cars, factories, things that send harmful gases into the atmosphere are to blame. And that if we cut down on those things, it would help with the problem.
Yeah. So whenever you kind of found out about coral bleaching,
Mm-hmm.
did it tell you how this information was found and what kind of studies were done to find this information?
It did mention some scientists, and they had conducted some research out in the oceans. They found that in places such as the Great Barrier Reef near Australia was a big place that coral bleaching was happening.
Mm-hmm. Um, so that is one of the main places that is happening, just because that is the biggest coral reef. Excuse me. It is one of the biggest coral reefs, and um, they actually, I found from my marine science class, we watched a film on it called Chasing Coral, and that's where I found out a lot of my information from it. They had scientists who work their whole lives towards marine science, watching coral reefs, love the ocean, and love everything that, the ocean has to offer. It's definitely their passion. But they went out to the Great Barrier Coral Reef, to specifically Lizard's Island. What they would do every day is, they tried to set up a camera that would sit down in the ocean and do a time lapse and just basically take a video, and you would see how the coral was bleaching over time. Few trial and errors. They found that, they couldn't keep the camera clean. Everything was foggy. They couldn't even see any of the pictures the first go around. But afterwards, they had to go every day. They would have to set up a camera, set it in the same exact place, very specific. And they would take pictures of the same thing every day. And they were able to see how quickly coral was bleaching. And it only took, it's a matter of like a couple weeks to like a few months that they saw most of the Great Barrier Coral Reef was bleaching and dying. So kind of like, I know I asked you before what your thoughts were on that, but do you feel like that impacts you specifically, and that this could be a problem for you in the future?
Me specifically, I do feel like it impacts me because as a scuba diver, I have enjoyed seeing and exploring the different coral reefs around, like in the Keys and that. And it is so amazing to see how they influence the ocean and the environment. And to see them deteriorate is just so sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like more people should be aware of this.
Yeah, for sure. I have to agree with you on that. So since you do feel like this is impacting you specifically, and like you said, you're a scuba diver yourself, you have a connection with the ocean, is there anything that you feel like you could do and you will do in the future to possibly prevent the Earth's climate from increasing and prevent future coral bleaching?
Yeah, I feel like people in general should be made more aware of the situation in general, and if that's part of the problem is not enough people know about it and the cause and what's going on. So if we could just make more people aware, then that would be a big step. And then, in order to actually, the actions that need to be taken would be to cut down, like, on factory production and vehicle, gas running vehicles, and maybe purchasing more electric or hydro.
Yeah, so just some more environmentally friendly options,
right.
And instead of ignoring those, actually choosing to use
Do
those.
something about it. Yeah.
So, well, thank you for talking with me today. It was great to talk to a fellow ocean lover who, understands coral bleaching and really wants to see a change.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.